This was Abby. This was Abby. A woman loved and in love until that night when something evil came looking for a soul to possess.
I can't stop thinking about your husband.
That creep. Forget him.
Was this Abby?
Now the fun starts.
Grab her! Hold her! Hear me, demon. Leave this woman's body!
Abby. Rated R.
Great blaxploitation. No one's even greater, knowing that Blackula grew up to become the king of cartoons. Hi, I'm D, and this is 3 Black Geeks.
Yeah,
we're doing a movie. The movie that we're doing today is I don't know how to describe this type of genre. You know, movies that were doomed from the start, whether it be production or whether the second it come out, another studio swipes in and pretty much shuts it down. This is what happened, and it happened a lot. Like, you know, you don't hear much about it now. If you hear about shit like this now, it's because it's because the studio was just trying to buck the system and try to get around that and thinking they can't get sued. But back then, it was a little bit different. It was more of the big guys and not letting the little guys grow. And this is one of them. This is what everybody said, oh, it's an Exorcist clone. No, it's not. It is not an Exorcist
clone. Far from it. It has certain moments.
Yeah, I know you heard the trailer in the beginning of the show. I know you like the picture of this shit. No, it is not like the Exorcist at all. If anything, this is like something, a scary story your friend wrote and somehow it got on Scary Pasta. It's sort of like that. It's not even a clone of it, man.
I'm just gonna say something like this.
Let me go ahead and get this out of the way before we even get into this. First of all, I owe both of you a very swift kick in the nuts for subjecting me.
Why are you looking at me? What makes you think I would suggest Abby? This is all D. I'm just going along for the ride. And it's actually a very fun ride.
No.
I'm sorry, Chris. It's October bitch ass nigga season. Did you just drop that on me?
I dropped it on you. What makes you think, dude, I'm the guy that suggests movies such as Blackula. I don't suggest Abby. What are you talking about?
I owe the both of you a swift kick in the nuts. D for suggesting, Chris, I don't care who suggested. The fact that this movie was suggested in the first place, Chris, you didn't warn me. D, because he likes to torture me because I tortured him with movies, fine. Still, the kick in the nuts is coming. I did not need to waste an hour and 24 minutes of my time watching Joe Jackson and his fictional family parade around the idea of putting out a movie that was not supposed to be The Exorcist, but got him in trouble with Warner Brothers. I'm done.
All I'm saying is this.
I reiterate, I got nothing.
Here's where I have to put my high horse here and stuff. I understand schism and other aspects is the reason why Warner Brothers did what they did. But I have to look at Warner Brothers like this. All right, Warner Brothers, you're protective of your property. But yet you came out with fucking 4 goddamn piece of shit sequels. So how protective of the property were you? How protective of it were you?
you are on a high horse with this, Chris, but you're absolutely right. Because the reason why it's the reason why it's really weird is because, well, first off, people, this movie only sold, how much was it? Like 200,000 put together?
Yeah, 200,000.
Yeah, 200,000 put together. And of course, what really made blaxploitation movies a gold mine was the fact that it was low costing, high reward. They seen what Black Caesar, Shaft, fucking Superfly. They seen these results and they were good. MGM and Warner Brothers, which is odd for Warner Brothers, they have already had their fucking their palm on blaxploitation movies just to get them in the fucking black. You know what I mean? They use those movies in those capacities. So when this movie came out, it did make money local. It did make money in the limited release when it goes to when it goes to black theaters and grindhouse theaters. It made its money. It really did. But Warner Brothers had a fucking monster of a hit, a movie that to this day there are a bunch of people that say they don't want no part of it.
It's in the Library of Congress.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's just be real. The Exorcist changed a lot in filmmaking. It really did. It really did. And in an odd way, I get why WB did it.
I get it, but it's just if you're protective.
I really did. I understand why they did it. Let's just be real. You have this fucking property that can be bigger than what it is, and when you see the black people doing it, just go with ism alone. Oh, they're trying to get rich off it too. Well, we're going to shut those niggers down now. And here's the best part about this. If they didn't have that scene in Africa, and I put out quotation marks, don't worry, Eris, I put up quotation marks when I said Africa. And if they didn't have, and quotation marks again, an exorcist scene, none of this would probably even come up on their radar. But all they saw was, oh, that bitch possessed. These niggas are trying to copy a fucking monster of a hit. We're not going to have that. Shut it down. That's why next year, in a couple years from now, we're going to have a sequel, and it's going to be the shiznit.
Womp womp.
Let me some of that, take out some of that, some of the plot, and recast the priest in that one. It could have fucking worked. I will say that much. The Heretic is bad.
Let me tell you something. Heretic Not even the power of James Earl Jones and Ned Beatty could save that movie. All right.
No. You fucked up. You ain't said the most important piece. Not even the beautiful voice of Eartha Kitt, who was the voice of Pazuzu, could change that movie.
No, I couldn't.
But it's amazing. That movie actually had potential. It really did have potential because visually, it's a good looking movie. Outside of that, it's shit.
It just bothers me because it's like, okay, I get it, you're protective, but then you do all these sequels. Exorcist 3, garbage. Exorcist the Beginning, garbage. Dominion, prequel to Exorcist, garbage.
Garbage. All of them are hot garbage. Don't get me wrong, Chris. But you know what it also reminds me of? It reminds me of how probably Warner Brothers did this again with The Matrix and just said, that's our property. We don't care what comes after it. We just own that franchise. And then you see how that franchise go. Yeah. You take a gamble on that shit anytime you make a fucking sequel of anything. You know that. We all know that.
I'm not saying Abby.
You know what else this reminds me of? This also reminds me of the time that we were reviewing a movie, but we clearly gave absolute no shits about it and barely got to the story. Can we please get through this travesty of a film?
All I'm saying is this.
That dares to call itself a film.
All I'm saying is Abby is a movie Abby is a movie that ultimately, even if they didn't get sued, I don't see how you could do a franchise around this because it is it's the most awkward. Let me tell you something. This chick gets possessed and she goes from looking fine to looking like looking rough.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I know Carol Speed. She looked exactly the same. Only thing she did was blow out her hair. There was nothing different, Chris. There was nothing done different.
Can I also point out something else, like following this film? You know it's bad when Black Devil Doll has a better plot than this?
Hold on. Ease your brakes on that one. Ease your brakes on that one.
No.
Black Devil Doll. No, hold on, Eris. I will admit this.
My foot is going nowhere near it's going nowhere near the brake pedal on this. I told you from the beginning. I got nothing out of this.
Because I will give you this. I will not do that to Three Black Geeks at all. But I will say this, Eris. It's it's more entertaining.
I mean, the thing with Abby now,
it's more entertaining.
I got more entertainment out of a wooden black doll cussing out a church-going, God-fearing woman than a minute of this.
Hey, I will say this. Best part of that whole movie when he got up in them church guts. That was amazing. You know, look. Pinocchio got hard that night. That's the best way to describe it.
So
once he got up in them church guts, it was no longer a church. It was 4 walls and a roof.
No carpet? No carpet?
No
All right, cool.
Carpet. I'm talking about the inside. I'm talking about the inside.
All I'm saying is this.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Eris, you're right. That and a couple of splinters, too.
All I'm saying is...
Oh, what? My nigga raw dogged it. You know he broke off a piece of that.
All I'm saying is this, right? The fact that we got Blackula as the priest is great. Which, side note, I found out this dude actually voiced Tony Stark in a couple of episodes of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, which means that we had a black Tony Stark at one point. Yes!
Wait a minute. What?
He voiced Tony Stark in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Huh.
You know what? I like it. I like how Chris, and this shows you, and this really shows you, and Chris, you can fight me all you want. This shows you how much of a Marvel fan you are. You skipped over the fact that William Marshall was a Shakespearean trained actor.
No. I'm not skipping over that. I'm not skipping over that because when we talked about Bones, I mentioned William Marshall. And I mentioned the fact that that Bones was trying to be like Blackula, and yet Snoop Dogg is not on the level of William Marshall. You can go back to it. We can cut to the tape on that one. All I'm saying is this.
Don't do that because I edit everything. I don't think William Marshall's name was even mentioned.
Well, it was mentioned because I mentioned how Bones was trying to be like Blackula in certain regards.
You mentioned that. But look, the point is this.
William Marshall is a Shakespearean actor.
Look, come on, Chris. Even you gotta laugh at that.
No, but here's the thing. No, it is funny, but don't get twisted up.
I can imagine this nigga. Look, I can imagine you going through that nigga shit. Oh man, he did Othello for years. But he was Tony Stark in like 2 episodes, so fuck on it.
No, but what's great about it is that like the movie off the break, when you see him with his students and stuff, you already know off the break he's the priest. He's the priest. He's an African priest.
Also, guys, how you like that this movie is filmed in the glorious, beautiful, just dripping with, just oozing with charisma, and other other great movies were filmed here, Louisville, Kentucky.
Which side note, during production, there was some hurricanes that was popping through, and it kind of
no, you meant tornadoes.
Tornadoes, tornadoes, all the same.
No, they're not, nigga. Look. All right. During the production, there was. I see you got me about to say hurricane, ignorant motherfucker.
Hurricane heist. Let's do it.
No. During the production, there was tornado. Tornadoes actually just ravaged not only Kentucky but a good chunk of the Ohio Valley for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Guy got mad. I don't know. Something happened, but it fucked up production. And on top of that, production was already shitty. I'm sorry, Eris, I couldn't tell. But production was already shitty. And William Marshall, and he did it in that good old Negro baritone tone, said, I want to get off this set.
Well, him being a Shakespearean actor, though, was crazy, too.
You got to think, he get paid more than everybody else, and he asked the director for one name. The director like, yeah, cuz we ain't got that shit.
No, but him being a Shakespearean actor, though, what was crazy too about it is that he, despite him be acting in the movie, he wasn't satisfied with the script of the movie. Even though he did it, he wasn't satisfied with like how like the structure of the script and stuff went. But he did it anyway.
Can't tell.
I really couldn't tell either.
I couldn't tell either, but it's like, I'm pretty sure he just kind of like, you know what, I'm going to be professional, I'm going to do my job. But apparently, like, he really wasn't fond of certain things in the script and stuff. So
you got to really think, not even so much of, I performed Hamlet, I know more than you. Let's even beyond that, you got to think there has to be some, because blaxploitation movies, for whatever reason, if they're not financed by a bigger studio, they're going to be kind of rough. Mm-hmm. And I'm being nice when I say the word rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This movie did, I will say this, at least they did get another star, which is Carol Speed. Now, Carol Speed, when I look at her filmography, is really not as big as I thought it was, but she's been in enough movies, including one movie where she's basically the only black person in the movie. She actually follows a band around as a groupie, and at the end she kills this dude who's pretty much a rapist, and they arrest her, which is like, if you see the movie, it's like, wait a minute, so y'all arrested her for doing that shit, for doing y'all job? It's wild. That's all you need.
But also her character, her mom, Juanita Moore. Now, if you don't know Juanita Moore, if you're a fan of any like classic movies, she was one of the lead characters in Imitation of Life. Very good movie. Very solid movie. Our good old priest / doctor is rolling up to this tomb. He meets his students. Is like, hey, I'm going to Nigeria. I'm going to this tomb to do some exploring. He goes to this tomb and he finds this artifact. And this
I like how that tomb, by the way,
look like Luray Caverns. Look like Luray Caverns.
I like how it's clearly a cavern in fucking Tennessee that they just had to cross the state line to get to.
Sorry, they went. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They went to Luray Caverns, did some B-sides, and they were good to go. But
here's the thing. Now, here's where there's a weird disconnect that I do get with this. Mm-hmm. Okay, he finds this fucking basically a case that was made, early back like 900s or some bullshit like that, and he's all, like, oh man, it's beautiful. And he opens it. By the way, he mentioned that the little carving on it had an erect penis, and he kind of laughed at that. I would too.
Hey, actually, good Lord, man. See, you missed a great opportunity. Since this is a blaxploitation film, you said he found this case and it was made in this particular time. I would have jumped on it just to make it a little bit better by saying, oh, you mean to tell me that case wasn't made in 785 BC? But again, I'm using a much better blaxploitation film.
I got a question though, guys. So how does a spirit get released and travel across to the United States to a specific house?
I mean, the same way Jumanji found its way in the hands of people. That thing travels.
Not spirits, though. That's a board game. That's bullshit. Whatever. Yeah.
All right. Jumanji, all right. As much as it kind of don't make no sense, I get it. But here's the thing that don't make no sense with this.
With the power of drums.
That's what I'm saying. It flies out. It flies out. You see the sand fly at the thing, which was, I gotta say, it's a pretty decent effect. But let's just be real. They just put a motherfucking fan.
Those guys, Shawn Michael oversold the shit out of that win too.
God damn it, Chris. Anyway, Low, they obviously put a fan on there. Everybody was flying around. I like how my one nigga like kind of tripped up to get on top of that motherfucking. He kind of tripped upward to get on that fucking rock and all that. But here's the best thing. So it goes out, it leaves the unpossessed, nobody in that cave. It flies out like, good. After 10,000 years, I am free.
It's time to conquer Earth.
Where do I go to? Let me go to Louisville, Kentucky. Hopefully the priest that opened me up has a relative or somebody that is not blood related. Look, my plan doesn't make a lot of sense now, but it will later on. Fly!
So we get the typical...
It doesn't go to his wife. It doesn't go to his son, but it goes to his son's wife.
Now, here's the kicker.
Which is random. Why would he even go to her?
But here's the thing. There's a little side note here before we talk about the scene of her getting possessed, right? I laugh because I kind of had that petty moment too.
It's actually one of the best things in the movie. But go ahead.
So they're eating dinner, and I like how the son is like, yeah, father's in Nigeria, you know. He's like, but whatever and stuff. And I like how the mother's just like, so you sound a little bitter, don't you? He's like, not really. And I'm like, I can hear the bitterness in your tone and your voice, sir.
I'm sorry.
That right there. That right there. No, I'm with you, CJ. That sounded like some bitterness.
It's like, I wish I was in Africa, but no, I gotta be a cop.
You know what it sounded like to me?
Some bitterness.
You know what it really sounded like to me, guys? Mm-hmm. It didn't sound like bitterness. It sounded like bad acting.
A little bit too. That's the case.
A little bit.
Yeah. Hold on. You know what's worse? Now, AD, you want to know what's worse than bad acting? Bitterness covered with bad acting.
Ooh,
oh my God!
Man.
Isn't that like having that's like having wasabi on top of a shit sandwich? Like honestly.
I mean,
I like how pretty much all what I like to call like random dialogue chatter, where you're saying like shit that has no bearing on the movie. You're just talk like, oh, last night somebody went to such and such place, shit like that.
Yeah.
But if you listen to all of that type of chatter through the whole movie, you're like this. So the script was only like 15 pages long, wasn't it?
You're being nice. 15 pages. I'm counting at least 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like 6. Hold on, 6 in the back of an old Fantastic Four comic strip.
First off, you're not going to sit there and disrespect it right in the damn comic there, sir.
Yeah.
I said, hold on. Before the two of you jump on me, I said the back page where they use the advertisements.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. It's right across. You see like the lines over there, and it's William Marshall. I cannot read it. I can't read. What type of script is this? Like, it's right across there. No, sir, that's Mr. Fantastic. I ain't talking about that, boy. Hey, Chris, I'm sorry. That's perfectly you right there. I can imagine 1974 Chris, which is regular Chris with an afro. But Chris is over there like, well, sir, that's Mr. Fantastic. His name is actually Reed Richards. I'm not talking about that.
But the funny thing is, it's like the possession scene. Okay, look, let me tell you something. I had to turn the volume down because I'm like, is she orgasming or possessed?
Yeah,
I can't quite tell.
Yeah, she is. As a person that, all of us watched.
All of us do.
All of us watched shitty movies before. See? Thought I was going to say porn. I didn't.
It's the same thing, D. You know that, right?
Oh, it's not. Porn is...
Yes, it is.
There's a difference. See, at least porn has a cum shot. A bad movie? Anyway.
No. One thing that bad movies and bad pornos have in common, they try to push a plot.
Have you ever seen a plot get pushed in a porno? And hold up. And so let me get this straight. Like, just say like, okay, there's a statue involved, and the statue, I don't know, makes people have sex. So you just see random people fucking, and it goes to the next person. And they're trying to keep a fucking plot with the damn statue.
I saw. I think I saw. Was it that movie that Spike Lee remade and stuff about the vampires and stuff, something in Haas or whatever and stuff. I seen that shit back in the day. I saw it because I wanted to see a Spike Lee movie. The acting is along the lines of Abby, to be honest and stuff. I ain't gonna lie. And,
I'm sorry, a Spike Lee movie?
No, I'm not talking. No, Spike Lee remade a blaxploitation movie. It was a blaxploitation, like, low-key vampire movie he did, and I watched the original one. I didn't watch the Spike Lee one, but I watched the original one.
I'm about to say, but still, I didn't know Spike Lee did that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but I watched, the acting is like on a level of Abby, but they also tried to do that kind of sexual thing, and it comes across so awkward.
But you gotta think about it. 1970s. In the 1970s, if you weren't doing heroin, cocaine, smoking a lot of weed, you were fucking a lot. Mm-hmm. So it had to be one of them, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And obviously we did not set up Abby to be in that motherfucking bathroom looking like Ray Charles.
I mean,
But yo, how did you like when she was in the
Ganja and Hess? Ganja and Hess, that's the name of it. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
How do you like the fact that she was in the shower and all of a sudden you see the shadow of the fucking Babadook come out of nowhere?
Man, I thought it was an Alfred Hitchcock movie. I was like, is this Psycho again? What's going on here?
Oh, it ain't Psycho. It ain't Psycho, because if this movie did it correctly, she would have been getting banged out by somebody in all black, but they didn't do that shit.
All I know
because,
is
budget restraints.
All I know is I see the shadow and stuff. She gets possessed. So the family, they're having their little dinner and stuff, because I got the scenes mixed up, but they're having dinner and they're talking and stuff, doing the usual chatter that you see families do. And she's cutting up chicken. And all of a sudden, she decides to cut herself. And I'm like, oh no, baby, what are you doing?
It ain't so much that. It was like the chicken, like, you want to stick your fingers in, don't you, bitch? Go ahead. Go ahead, do it. It's like, all you needed was like two googly eyes on the chicken and just Craig Robinson. Hey, what's up? You want to stick your fingers inside me, don't you?
Now, she has that moment. She's freaking out and stuff, and, her mother's calming her down. Then she goes to church, and that's when she really start heathing it up in church.
The interesting part about that is in the church scene, it's actually a song. The song that she sings is actually a song that Carol Speed wrote herself. And if anybody actually wants to hear that song, as a person that went to church all his life, I can tell you this: you've heard a variation of this. You're not missing it.
If you want to hear it, just skip the 20 minutes into the movie and you hear the singing. That's all.
Now, here's the worst part about it. Carol Speed only has one speed, and that's acting, because it ain't fucking singing. I can tell you that much.
Can I mention something about Carol Speed when she gets possessed?
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So I just happened to read the comments, and I meant to mention this earlier when we brought it up. I laughed pretty hard, in the vacuum of nothingness that I got out of this movie. I did laugh when somebody said that when she becomes possessed, she looked like Cat Williams.
I mean, where's the lie on that one?
Again, I saw no lie.
That's so fucked up.
It is, but they ain't lying.
I'm trying not to laugh, all right? Look, I'm trying
Try not to laugh. Did you try not to laugh when like she was choking on a dick inside the church?
That was actually the best. I love that scene, though.
I like how everybody acted like a black person when they were like, what the fuck is going on here? Who is coughing?
Hey,
Jesus.
what's wrong with you?
You want some water?
And she played this and give her a like, no, I'm fine. She played that part, but all it was like to me is like any second now, they're going to reverb the living shit out of her voice.
So the guy takes her out, and all of a sudden she starts going on top of him and stuff. Like she want to fuck him and stuff. And the mom's like, "What is going on with you?" I'm like, "Lady, like you already know what's going on. You already know what's happening."
The reason why Exorcist did so well was because it was during a time where a lot of people kind of still believed in the spiritual aspects of spirituality and shit like that, but on a more basic level, angel good, devil bad, and the devil will always do shit that is like what you call immoral, and people were still kind of despite the 70s being what it was, people were still kind of prudish. So hearing a little girl say, "Yeah, go fuck yourself, fuck you, I want her fuck her in her ass," it's like, oh my God. So the same thing goes for this movie where you see a woman all hopping on somebody in the church trying to fuck them. Oh my God, Lord, don't you do that. This is the Lord's house. What if God comes out here and see you? He's like that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
there's going to be motherfucking disgust. Also, bitch, you married. Why you on that nigga?
No, but here's the thing. Like, we get to a point where Abby is basically starting to cut a fool. Like, at one point, her and her husband are in the room with their friends, and I forgot what...
Hold on. Actually, that just reminded me of something. When they first got in that house, and I'm going to call the spirit Pazuzu. Fuck you.
I mean, it is.
It might as well be. And I like how the door like kind of creeped open and you just felt this cold wind. And her husband did the most bitch shit I've ever seen. Baby, wake up. Baby, wake up. She's like, what is it? What is it? He was like this. did you hear that? Did you hear that? It's like, I ain't hear nothing. If you wanted some, you should just ask me. And it was like, wait, but the way it was the way he woke her up was like, there's a monster in here. It was some straight up bitch shit to me the way he
like
did
they're
it.
in the room with their friends, and then like all of a sudden, just whatever, I forgot what homegirl said, it triggered her, and all of a sudden she's like, hey, you want to see tits? Here's tits. I'm like, whoa.
It's like, and I like how they did it from the behind, because Carol Speed had it in her contract, you ain't gonna show my boobies off, even though
pretty sure those things were taped.
I was saying, even though she was in a movie called, she was in what was that, Black Mama, White Mama. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure she showed her titties in that.
I mean, but like, what's the kicker is that like she gets on top of her husband and stuff, and I laugh at the fact that she's like literally punching him, and he just taking it like, honey.
No, that was so funny, because when he got slapped the first time, you're like, and then he got punched the second time, now choke me.
I know, dude. I swear to you, I was waiting for it to get to that point, because I'm like, is he going to enjoy this?
But you got to realize, again, it's 1970s. You don't let a woman get on top of you and hit you, nigga.
And folks, it's not like, it's not like she was, it's not like there were love taps either. They were literally like, oh, she's winding up to hit.
She's winding up for this shit. Hey, Chris, you better be a man and close fist punch the hell out of her ass. Come on, nigga. It's 1971. What type of job you think this is, nigga?
I wish Scary Movie did this scene in their movie in a way, and just Shawn Wayne's like sucker punch Regina Hall or some shit. That would be funny. That would be hilarious.
Oh man, look. Because me saying choke me harder, like that's the best we can make this scene, because this whole movie we could make a better movie out of this. We really can. But it's almost like, what's the fucking point?
But it's like Abby's doing these things because it's to a point where we get the obligatory white lady in there like, Abby, calm yourself down. What's going on with you? And she just spazzes out on him.
CJ, you mentioned the white lady, like trying to get her to calm down. Let's also not forget we got the subplot with the two cops played by not Jim Brown's brother and O.J. Simpson over here.
Oh, God, I wish O.J. Simpson was in this movie. That would have been great.
I wish he was, because he would be, oh man, that black woman going crazy. Well, it's time for me to go to white people. See ya.
And I got my 2 minutes into this movie. We're good. We are good.
The juice is loose. See ya.
Shout out to OJ, man. I love OJ, man.
You know what's really sad? And you know what will really be messed up? As soon as he says the juice is loose, he does the move from Cooley High.
Yo, why the fuck he get in the car? Of course AC is there. He's AC. You really gonna try to make that a catchphrase? Nigga, shut the fuck up and drive the van.
Yo, here's the kicker though too. I like, again, because I'm a sucker for when black people beat up white people. This possessed chick is just bitch slapping this damn white lady and shit.
Oh God! Look, hey Chris, now you know why it did well in the black movie theaters.
Yo, it's to the point, and what have you rolling is that she's literally, she put freaking, what's the name of those things that you put in your mouth that helps you, Alka-Seltzers in the mouth and stuff in the scene, and clearly the Alka-Seltzer ran out because she was no longer frothing from the mouth.
No, Chris, you're being nice. You act like they actually gave her Alka-Seltzer. No, I believe Carol Speed literally had to fuzz up her spit to do that shit. Yo,
this movie how much saliva you need to get to that point?
It's called, hey CJ, it's called budgeting and editing.
You mean to tell me they couldn't pay 50 cents for an Alka-Seltzer? This is the cheapest movie I ever played all my life.
Oh no, that's Dolomite.
Dolomite.
No, here's Chris. No, and Chris will have a good comeback. Dolomite turned a profit, y'all. It's like, and he didn't get sued.
Exactly. Rudy Ray Moore actually kept his money.
Oh man, no. Rudy Ray Moore actually kept his money. Here's Rudy in heaven. I ain't make no money off it. I don't know why people think I did. I ain't make shit off that. Not until 1995. Took long enough.
Is that why you left? Is that why you left your only master copy of that movie in the hotel?
They got demolished. Shout outs to Dolomite, my name dropping soon. Anyways.
Yeah. Also, real talk. No, we're not doing Dolomite this coming Black Action Month. Now, if y'all vote for it, maybe. Yeah, that's right. I'm opening up a poll for that shit.
Side note, Duke, you don't count for a vote. We already know you're going to say yes. Continue.
Yeah, we already know you're going to pick the worst one, nigga.
Also, can we mention that this movie was shot in Louisville, Kentucky?
We have to keep reiterating that. We have to keep reiterating that because I like how he called his dad twice and he took his dad 2 times to be called. And he finally came in there. And if you on the Three Black Geeks on Facebook page, I sung the theme song for this movie, which is very, very shitty. But then again, this movie's very, very shitty. So what you want me to do? I'm gonna say this though. How did I not know that they were going to sit there and hook her up in the MRI machine? I was not shocked that they even went to that point.
I like how they did that shit. Now, I saw her doing that. I was like, man, that's the old 1970s one where it's like loud as fuck. Ooh, click, click, clack. Ooh.
It's so spooky.
So, like, why is it so loud? It's loud, so you know it's working.
Like the dude for Back to the Future. Barry, you know that sound that you needed?
Yo, it's on the same look. Yo, I like how they did this. Like, when I saw it though, Chris, I said, that thing is going to give her cancer. I don't care what you say. That's
2 years later, Abby finds out she has breast cancer. Sad fears.
Look, how did she get that? Was it from the MRI machine? Actually, it's because you eat 50 pounds of bacon. You know that's carcinogenic, right?
Yo, now, here's the thing.
Hold on. Black people in the 1970s. The hell is a cancer?
Now, here's the thing. Jumping ahead here, because this is the funniest part to me. That also
when she was... also, Chris, when she was... I'm sorry. But when she was in the hospital... And the doctor was telling her what may be wrong, what may not be wrong. Mm-hmm. I like how they said, we're going to try to get her a psychiatrist. And the mama act like they said she was going to die. My baby is not crazy.
Now, here's the thing. No, but you know what? You know what? That's real. Because let's be real. We're going to keep it real for a second here, all right? We as a black community, we've gotten a little bit better over the years, but we as a black community...
we're much better now.
Yeah. We as a black community, we always had this thing where going to a counselor was like a bad thing. Like, I don't need help. I don't need to go to a counselor about my feelings. No, I can figure it out myself. And it's like, no, you need to...
I want to see, like, it's kind of funny. I get, like, even though I don't get it, but I get why some people are really against the idea of being an organ donor. I really do. Whether it be for religion or you just scared that white people are just going to take your liver at any fucking time. It's stupid to me, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I know where it comes from because it does come from real history where black people are used as guinea pigs, where they just take shit from us without us knowing. I get the fear of that. Why is psychiatry? Why is that? Why is that?
I don't know.
Why going to a motherfucking shrink is the worst thing in the world? Like, I get there may be the religious aspect of, just pray it off. Or it might be the sense of black people's pride where we're like, no, we don't do none of that shit that the crackers doing. I need to know where that came from. Because seeing a psychiatrist, even to this day for some black people, is like, you're telling me that I'm crazy and I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
When in actuality, your son is, like, my son is not crazy. Your son killed 5 people and he was found in a dress. He needs to talk to somebody now.
Now here's the thing.
I don't understand that shit. I never understand.
Here's the thing. The scene with the good old Blackula, I loved it because Abby's hitting on him and he almost backhanded her, like, get the hell off me, woman.
and I like it because it's William Marshall talking louder, so you can hear all that baritone.
Oh, yeah, you need that baritone, and his blackness just oozed out of him immediately.
Hear me, demon. Get out of this woman now. You don't tell me what the fuck to do.
Did you like how she pushed up down homeboy and he oversold him falling back onto the chair?
This nigga I like how this nigga fell back just to jump up to fall back again.
and then Eris will probably comment on this. There's so much jump cutting of the scene to show how much of a threat she was.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Yo, the jump cuts is like, yo, they did so many jump cuts. I'm over here saying like, yo.
It looked like 50 cuts.
If we had to do a drinking game for how many times there was a jump cut that took place, we'd die.
You know what? I will give this movie this much. This movie always gave you the threat of a boom mic showing up, and it did it.
And I was disappointed.
You know what?
No, hold on. I'm saying this. It did it. It always threatened us. But you know what it did show? The shadow of the cameraman at least 8 times in this movie.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta take that back because that was a little dark. That was a little dark and morbid. We wouldn't. No. If we did a drinking game for every time we saw a jump cut in this movie, we wouldn't die. We'd lose count by the 3rd jump.
I mean, the whole scene in between them shaking the camera to give the illusion the house was in the earthquake and stuff, that was hilarious and stuff.
Fuck that. The scene alone in the cave, Eris, would have made me get to my 8th drink. I'm done.
Yeah.
Now, the good old Blackula and the police officer, they gotta look for Abby. Meanwhile, Abby's possessed behind decided, I'm going to go to the disco.
Yo, I gotta give it up for Abby. Hey, if you're going to be a possessed motherfucking demon of sex, hey, get a couple bodies on you.
I mean, she gets some black bodies, she gets some white bodies.
I like now, I like how when she fucked homeboy in the car, he's like, oh yeah, that was amazing. I couldn't stop thinking about your husband. I'm like, nigga, why?
Wait. First off, dude, are you gay? Pause.
No. When she said, as soon as he said, I couldn't stop thinking about your husband, he, like, good God, sorry. When he said that, I couldn't stop thinking about your husband, here's her in possessed form. I am a boy, Damon!
A boy! For your consideration, Cat Williams for Abby, the remake.
No. And you know what really does it? Even though he never wore one during that whole little thing, that whole little the neckerchief really did it for me with her. Yo, that scarf was hit. That scarf was banging, and it made her look like Cat Williams even more.
Now, I like the fact that after
she
Abby's
got the white man up. When she talked to the white dude, and my white dude was like, all right, brown sugar.
I know, right?
I bet in the black movie theaters, they were like, oh, no, she needs Jesus now. She having sex with a honky? Really? Really? Yo, here's me, Chris. That's Carol Speed. They ain't the first white man she fucked. I guarantee you that.
But I like the fact that her husband rolls up back to the club, tries to get him and stuff, to the point to where she gets these 2 other dudes to basically abuse him at the club, by the way.
Because she was trying to get a train. She was trying to get a train on. And here come this nigga. I like how these motherfuckers just easily pushed him to the side.
Like, they're just abusing him and stuff. I'm like, so what's going on here?
And
you already know what's going on here.
And then she sits there, and then the fact that you're supposed to make me believe that this chick could throw freaking Hightower from Police Academy across the freaking bar and stuff. I'm like, come on,
nigga,
dog.
How do you look, Eris? I gotta go to Eris to this one. That jump cut for her throwing that nigga on the bar and sliding him. How fucking glorious was that?
Okay, I have the perfect example for this. Mm-hmm. Me seeing that, you want to know what I saw? That was the black version of Fist of Fury when Bruce Lee chucked them 2 Japanese students when they were clearly dolls. I'm like, so you mean to tell me you grabbed both of these dudes, 1 arm each, swinging them around and seismic tossing them? No, they were clearly dummies.
Carol Speed and at her heaviest had to be 102 pounds. This bitch fucking deadlifts a 270-pound black man onto a bar and slides him down like
shout outs to his attire, because he was wearing those the open vests back in the day. You just wear a vest and that's all you do to roll into a club.
Hey, real talk, I gotta be honest, I would never wear that shit. No.
My dad wore that. My dad wore that shit back in the day, though. I'll tell you that much.
I can imagine you. Look. I know it's not the 70s, but I can imagine Chris having that same getup, and he's just like, "Hey guys, I'm ready." All of a sudden, you hear Cameo, single. Life. He got them all. Look at them all, fucking all cigarette in his mouth. Y'all trying to do this shit?
Hey, look, man. There is some attire from the 70s I can appreciate. I kind of appreciate that attire. I was like, that is.
Man, look. I already called dibs on my 70s attire already. I want that fucking suit that Chicago Wind had on.
I'm just saying, for somebody like me that's tall and lanky, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Man, look, real talk, man. In my opinion, the 70s was made for niggas like you. And I really mean that, because all this shit didn't look good to me unless you were skinny. Because every time, you had to be tall. Because any other time you wear anything like that, I would see everything I would wear. I would like Jim Brown, and I thought Jim Brown shit never looked fly. Like not at one time, because I'm gonna be all big in the shoulders and shit. Like that's how it's gonna look on me. Ugh.
Yeah. And in my case, I would look like freaking Rocky from the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
I mean,
look, hey, Chris, hey, Eris, don't put that on yourself. You would look just like Bill Cosby in Uptown Saturday Night.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Yes, you would.
Don't do
that fucking hat nice, nigga. You don't think you don't. And the glasses, son. You would know, Eris. If anything, you would definitely have those glasses, though.
Hey, them glasses look hot.
The 70s glasses, I'm cool. Yeah, I'll take that.
Look, and think of it, Eric. Later on that night, at the rap party, you could be with a girl. Hey, how you doing, baby?
Stop it.
Yeah, you know this is coming, and I got to keep it. Look, it's coming. I got to keep it to 1970s. Hey, baby, look over there. Frazier.
See, I knew D was gonna go there the moment he mentioned Bill Cosby. Why can't you just let me enjoy my fantasy of being the short, reformed Willie Dynamite? Why can't I have that?
I give you Willie Dynamite. Yo, because real talk, that the suit that he wore at the end of that motherfucker was bad shit, man. So I will give you that. Okay. You pick Willie Dynamite. I already picked Chicago Wind. That shit was all black with the white trim, the hat too. Nigga.
What makes this whole...
That shit was dripped like fuck, you know?
What makes this whole scene dope is that I like how Blackula rolls up in there with his pre-suit already on, and it was like, all right, we're going to exercise this bitch, whether it's in the bar or whether it's at her home. We're going to do this shit.
Yo, they had to hold her down. They had to hold her down. He was like, he broke out the cross.
No, you forgot. Also, no. Remember, they both had dialogue with one another and stuff where they were both basically kind of facing off a little bit in the bar before they held her down.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that because of course, she had to talk to her husband. I'm okay now. I'm fine.
No, you're not.
I'm like, bitch, you were just talking in a different voice. What changed in that little second?
That was a lie.
And then she turned to her brother and did the same type of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, nobody believes you. We're going to get this demon out of you. And then that's when she looked at that guy. Oh, really, priest? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to practice these words just so I can summon good brother Alucard.
How awesome would that be? If Gary Marshall was, I'm not Gary Marshall. How awesome would that be if William Marshall was still fucking alive and he did the voice of Dracula in Castlevania?
Listen, that would be dope. That would be dope as I don't know what, man. Look, I'm surprised. Now, here's the kicker, right? William Marshall died in 2004. I'm surprised in 1999, Wesley Snipes didn't be like, hey, you want to be in Blade?
Right?
You know what? I think at that point because he retired from acting like in the 90s anyway.
Okay. So, I didn't know he retired.
Yeah. I know the last big thing. Look, he was a part of our childhood because the last big thing that he really did was Pee-wee's Playhouse. Mm-hmm. He was the king of cartoons. So that's like the last big thing he did. Everything else was like on theater. So yeah, by the time the 90s hit, man, he was already done.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. You would think, and I say that for a lot of the underrated actors of the 1970s when it comes to blaxploitation, you think they'd be in a lot more shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
now here's the thing. The priest all of a sudden gets his hotep on because he was like, all right, this priest garb ain't doing it. We're going to have to put these African garbs on. He puts it on.
Oh, yo. The thing I hate about 70s movies is that you have to see every step of the process. That we had to see this nigga. We had to see this nigga slowly put on that dashiki. I'm like, if you don't hurry it, while
we also see the strings on Abby being lifted up, so the lifter up in the air.
All the fucking jump cuts in this movie, and you tell me you don't jump cut that. No, we have to watch it go over his head. We have to watch him put one arm out, the second arm out, to straighten it out. Nigga, if you don't cut this shit,
him putting the hat on, everything.
Why did you have all these jump cuts? There was 50 of them in the cave scene alone, but right here, fuck it. We got to see the whole process, or else we're just going to say, how did that magically happen?
But he manages.
But guess what, y'all? So not only does he manage to cast a spell and perform the exorcism successfully, but because this movie loved the jump cut of her being possessed so much that they had to give it to us again with her being exorcised. Holy crap! The jump cuts. First of all, in the final jump cut, when it cuts back to Marshall rocking that dashiki, I gotta say, my man looked like he was about a decade and a half early to be a background character for Zamunda.
I mean, I tell you what though, maybe it was just the movie and stuff, but I like how the movie tried to change up the lighting to show the heavenly glow of God. Taking her, trying to.
I'm sorry.
What? And one other thing before I forget. When he commenced the exorcism, and it was over and done with. Did you like how everything was blowing up inside the room? Everything caught on fire. I was like, yo, did you exorcise her or did you perform the gypsy curse from Child's Play?
Yo, what the fuck? Because everything in that room did light up all of a sudden. I was going to say that to you, Chris. Like, what, the floodlight or the fact that all the liquor was on fire?
Take your pick.
That shitty floodlight they used to give her a heavenly glow.
The only thing truly missing was the lightning.
The funny thing is that my man...
I needed the bolt of lightning to come down and strike her.
But my man was so casual with the stuff, like explosions happening around him and stuff while the spirit is going inside this box, and he's just casual, and I'm like, dog, there's stuff exploding around you, and you're just walking around there casual like it's nothing.
I mean, you could have a reaction to it, but when you're a priest, you got tunnel vision. You got to focus on the demon, or else he can fly out.
A disco ball exploded in front of his face, D. What the hell?
I'm sorry, Chris. Is this not the 1970s? Did you not want a disco ball to explode?
No. I'm saying a disco ball exploded in his face, and he didn't even budge.
And
then the scene, and then the movie dared to show him taking off said daishiki, while we see the scene of her face peeling off, going back to Carol Speed's normal face.
Speaking of which,
first of all, the disco ball exploding and him not budging. CJ, that right there is the essence of black magic.
Yes, it is. The essence of it. The pure essence of it. It's the pure essence of it. Eris, what are you talking about? It's the pure essence of it, Chris. I don't know what you're talking about. Please explain to me what the fuck you mean. Yeah, Chris, get online with it, nigga.
See, you messed up because you're not supposed to be back. backing me up and co-signing. All you had to say was just yes. You didn't have to add on to it.
I say this as a person that's going to edit this. Hey, D, have fun editing all this shit because this is going to come out to 35 minutes and you know it.
Oh my God, man.
I had to talk to myself on that one. I had to talk to myself. Hey, D, you are an asshole. I'm going to cry when I edit.
And I like how the movie ends with Carol and her husband going to Thailand because that's what you do when you go through an exorcism spell.
Well,
you take a vacation to Thailand.
Hey, you know what, to be honest with you, 1970s, black people with money, hey, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm not knocking it, but it just felt so funny just the way it just ends like that. I'm like, all right, a happy ending. All right, cool.
Well, hey, CJ, look, it could have been a whole lot worse, man. This was the 1970s. They could have taken a very, very disastrous one-way trip to the Amazon.
True.
Oh, my God, yes, they could.
What could possibly go wrong?
Actually, you know what, Harris? I do ask the question, why didn't we redo Cannibal Ferox?
No, you don't. Still the highest rated podcast ever.
Because we don't need to, D.
We don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to.
Also, I think we also need to get me on another cannibal movie that was actually a good Eli Roth movie about white people trying to be missionaries to a bunch of cannibals.
I'm sorry. You want to watch a good cannibal movie without going through a bad one?
No, but see, here's the thing. No, it's a good cannibal movie because white people are being killed. Not a single black person in the movie. That's good in my book.
Nigga, that's every cannibal movie.
I'm about to say every cannibal movie.
No, I know that, but it's just fun seeing it in modern times, and white people are still silly about this. That's all I'm saying.
He's got a point.
All right, cool. But no, fuck Eli Roth. I'm not giving him no time.
Hey, that's why I said that's the only good movie he's got. Is that movie?
That's the only good. Ain't it sad that's the only good one he really got?
See, I want to say Hostel, but thinking back on Hostel, I don't like that movie.
Like Hostel, there are ideas there. The Cabin Fever was shit from start to finish, and everything else he made was terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what to give him. But look, all right. So, oh yeah, I forgot the movie's over. Oh yeah, it just and like you said, Chris, just ends.
Thailand
cuts right
credits.
All of a sudden, like, oh, I guess they're over.
No, I gotta. Yeah, go ahead.
We watched now this movie. This movie exists only for one reason, because there were a lot of, when the DVDs started to be manufactured, a lot of people were going through all the Grindhouse films and all the rest of that to put them out there so they could be either in the public domain or just put out there for prosperity, period. In this case, they got lucky. Mm-hmm. Real talk, it's luck, because the fact that they got sued by WB and WB took all the master copies of this motherfucker. You couldn't get a clear copy of it. So the only one that they can get was a 16 millimeter one. Now you're probably saying to yourself, wait a minute, if they got sued, how were they able to put this shit out? That's the reason why all of this was ridiculous. WB's not checking up on that shit.
Yeah, and they got re-released on DVD off the 16 millimeter print.
That's what I just said, Chris.
Sorry, no, I know. I'm just saying, it's just.
The point is, yeah, like they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about it. And real talk, does it deserve to be on DVD and clear quality? Yeah. Why the fuck not? And I say that because there are shittier movies that have been put out that are in Blu-ray quality, okay?
I have a question.
High the brakes.
Exactly.
Now here's the thing. This is a really good question, okay? Serious question. Do you think you can remake this movie to be better now?
No.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes, you can.
No.
How? Why would you say no?
Why would I say no?
Yeah.
Let's see, because there was a movie that attempted to be like that, even though they went completely 180 with the original idea. It was called Bones.
He ain't possessing the body, though. It was just Snoop coming back to his bones.
Yeah, they kind of did, because that was...
kind of did? Like I said,
they
took the idea, but just completely 180'd it.
I think Bones was more just of a nod to blaxploitation horror, period.
Yeah,
It was.
Because it did come off like JD's Revenge. It did have a little, believe it or not, there were some elements of Abby in it, and it was more towards Blackula with the look and all the rest of that. So I can give you a half yes on that, Harris.
Okay, hold on. And there was also another one. Of course, there was no black people in it, but we had to take, at the time, the hottest female in Hollywood. It was called Jennifer's Body.
A movie we just did.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to it.
Thinking back on it and stuff, if I'm really gonna be an asshole about it and stuff, I'd be like, "Yo, Tyler, do Abby. Let's go." Because Tyler has been like,
that.
no. Here's the thing.
All he would do is get lazy and give it to Taraji.
I say that because Tyler has been threatening people, and I say threaten because that's what he does. I want to do a science fiction movie. I also want to do a horror movie, and I'm like, all right, Tyler. I don't know, man, but okay.
Here's my question to you. Why the fuck not? I'm sorry. What? Are you afraid he's going to put out even more shittier content? You do realize there's a whole subgenre of rapper movies that are goddamn terrible.
I know, including the movie that was in Black on Black Cinemas thing with the vampires and vampire heist shit. That and I know in comparison it probably would have been more exciting to do that than this. But trust me, I was circling around that motherfucker for the last 2 years. Because of Big Daddy Kane, wasn't it?
You know what? Actually, no. It was actually no. You know why? Because D has a real soft spot for motherfucking E40. Yeah. As much as I don't buy that nigga's records, I barely listen to anything he makes. But that's my nigga.
Ghost Rider the Whip.
like I can't hate on E40. You can't hate that shit.
But I mean, but overall, like Abby, for what it is, it's amazing too that a lot of these actors and actresses, they're still kind of sort of working in bit roles up to this point. Because I think what's his face that played her husband, he was actually, and I've seen his face before too because they showed his face recently. I'm like, oh, he was in Young and the Restless. He's still on that show.
Yeah. Some people have made it through the 70s pretty well, man. A lot
of them just did low key roles. That's what it really seemed like.
A lot of them did, and a lot of them did. Well, they kind of had to in a way. Did children stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And hey, I think because a lot of the actors, especially in the 70s, were like all about, hey, I want to give back in some type of way. A lot of them were. That kind of died out in the 80s and 90s, but it was like a bit of a resurgence in the fucking 2000s when it came to everybody saying, hey, why the fuck we don't go on Sesame Street no more? I don't know. Were we told not to? If we don't get on that show, like, but still. It is kind of funny that, some of these motherfuckers just survived. They just held on. Yeah. They were, you wouldn't believe it, but I played gangster Pimp's henchman number 3 in such and such movie, and I was in Petey Wheatstraw. You remember that scene where motherfucking Dolomite shot over, like when I got shot by motherfucking Rudy and Moore out the window? Yeah, that was me, man. Yeah. 5 days later, I was on General Hospital. I was on there for 15 years. Yeah, it's amazing. It happens that way, and I'm glad some of those people, even though in bit roles, hey, they still working. Yeah. Good for that.
But anyways, gentlemen, what do we have next after this?
Next is our Halloween special, our actual Halloween special, and trust me, going from Devil to Jennifer's Body to Abby, this is going to be good. We're doing The Thing.
Yes.
Thank fucking God. So wait a minute, let me get this straight. So you mean to tell me technically Gantz and The Thing were the only good movies we did this month? Huh. Yeah. All right. Anyway, next movie we're going to be talking about a whole lot of practical effects. Kurt Russell saying my favorite line of all time. You gotta be fucking kidding. And Eris jerking off to some of the best practical effects that were ever done in Hollywood. And Chris, I don't know what Chris is going to do. You're probably going to
me.
No, I already know what Chris. All right, I'm sorry. And Chris, of course, he's here for Wilford Brimley.
You're wrong, sir. You would think that. You think I would be for Mr.
You're here for that shitty from that shitty Plan 9 looking fucking spaceship that Wilford Brimley was making.
Nope. I am here. I'm not there for Mr. Diabetes. No, sir. I am there for...
No, not diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. No, I'm not here for that. I am there for Keith. I'm the black man that has some common sense. David. Showing his ass.
Also, best line for Keith David. Max said he wants a flamethrower. Max says he want a what?
Exactly. Keith David knows how to survive. Well, I can say survive. But he's like the one black dude that acts like a black person in a scenario, just like, what the hell is going on here, man?
That being also said, it is a good question I do have to ask. Why did they have flamethrowers on an Arctic research facility? They weren't
Norway, because Norway, that's why.
Whatever.
Anyways, guys, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
This is an MB13 production.